responsible when incident of this magnitude happen?
Yes, but it's to some extent.
We are saying also right now. Okay, to some extent, let me but certainly are held responsible.
To some extent.
We are saying that the companies that are responsible for the tankers not doing their homework and allowing those tankers to fall, we've not seen a large percentage of them being prosecuted. So to a very large extent, they are not responsible, and we don't hold them responsible. We are saying right now, again, to a very large extent, there are no regulations from the health sector to guarantee the lives of accident victims in Nigeria. Mr. Chair, it is worrisome at this point, but we need to ask this question. Are we ready as a country to prevent further reoccurrence of truck explosions in the country?
Right now, I think a lot needs to be done for us to know that, yes, we are ready. A lot needs to be done. If I say we are ready now, then I might not be saying the truth. A lot needs to be done. And that has to do with interagency collaboration. It's not about shifting blame. The ministry is supposed to do this, road safety is supposed to do this, VIO is supposed to do this, tankers owners are supposed to do this. There must be a holistic approach. And even bring these tanker drivers together under one roof. If it's their driver, if it's the owners, bring them together under one roof. Those are the things we are working on. Bring them under one roof. Let them know the consequences and how to protect even their own investment. Because they are losing too. For somebody to carry a 60,000 liter of fuel and it just goes like that with the vehicle, you know what it means? He has lost some sizable amount in his investment. So they should invest more in safety and road accident prevention to secure their investment in the business. It's not about government. It's not government might be blamed for not enforcing or maybe putting strict penalties on these people or calling them in a round table and inviting critical stakeholders like us, to participate and give them for example, we've done a lot of advocacies, we've done a lot of media briefings, press release and all that, trying to call the attentions of those who are involved to this issue. And it's like they are waking up to some extent. They are responding. We are seeing some level of response. But it's not as fast as we expected. They need to move more faster. Because you might hear another one tomorrow or next tomorrow. That's the point.
Mr. Chair, at this point, shouldn't we be talking about, because you've mentioned that the president have instructed the Ministry of the National Orientation Agency to begin to sensitize Nigerians on the need for them to evacuate premises and petroleum and tankers, create awareness on that regard. But shouldn't the conversation rather be at this point that we should be talking about declaring a state of emergency on Nigerian roads at this point in order to prevent further truck explosions?
Declaring the state of emergency on the Nigerian highway is overdue. Apart from tanker explosions, there are a lot of hazards happening on the Nigerian roads.
All right.
You see kidnapping, you see road accident, multiple accidents, and all that. You see reckless driving. You see a lot of things happening on the highway. So addressing this issue requires a holistic approach. And if you don't declare an emergency in this area, people's attention will not be drawn to it. A lot of people want to participate. They want to say how they can help. But there's no proper channel. A forum must not be open for people to come in and provide solutions and ideas to this issue. For example, the way they do their public hearing in the National Assembly. We have a lot of committees, road safety committees, House of Rep and all that. Why can't they organize a stakeholder forum and bring these people to the round table? Let us reason together how to solve this problem. Because directly or indirectly, we are all victims. That's what it means. Directly or indirectly. Because if it happens, your relations, your friend, somebody else might be affected. It's not just those that get born. Those ones are gone. The agony remains on their people. That is just the point. So there need to be a more concentrated, focused approach, bringing the stakeholders to the round table as a way of resolving this issue.
Prince Ache, could it be that because the vast majority of Nigerian airlines don't use the public roads. Don't go by roads. This is why we are not having this conversation, or it's due to the fact that most of their family members are not largely affected and their communities are not affected. By so doing, this conversation and the importance of road accident prevention and also truck explosion on the road is not a burning issue right now in the country.
No, the issue is everybody uses the road. That's a mistake most people do. There's nobody that does. You don't fly the plane into your home.
But you can fly a helicopter to your doorstep.
You can fly a helicopter to your doorstep. How many people have that privilege? How many people fly a helicopter to their doorstep? You can't be flying a helicopter from your office to your doorstep. It might be maybe from the airport, if those who are privileged to be in that class. You understand? You must enter a vehicle from the airport to your home. And apart from the highway, you cannot completely avoid the highway. That is the point. Everybody uses the road. That is why the issue is drawing the attention of the critical stakeholders and the government to constantly discuss this issue is one of the, let me say, panacea to resolving this menace. They must be constantly on it, talking about it, getting people involved in. Now, technology has made it, it's not new. This has been happening and a lot of people have been losing their life. But anyway, it happens now because of the phones, the technology and all that. Instantly people get the information. Before, you might not hear it. You understand me? So it is a recurrence or issue. It's happening constantly. And then solving the problem, as we said, requires what? A holistic approach and an increased emergency response system in the country.
All right, Mr. Chair. Let's look at other angles to this conversation. A lot of persons have attributed the truck explosions, especially in Niger State, to be largely due to spiritual attacks, spiritual affiliation. I can see you laughing. But is it possible, is this assertion right, to say that road accidents are attributed to spirituality? People need to sacrifice on the road, people need to do AYZ on the road. Can we attribute those trucks also to spiritual affiliations?
Well, you cannot completely rule it out. But then, as we said, prevention is always what? Better than cure. We are a praying nation. I think Nigeria is one of the countries in the world that prays more. Most of the religion leaders across the world are Nigerians and all that. So,
and others rely on Nigerians for prayers.
Oh, thank you. Others rely on Nigeria for prayers worldwide.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So we pray a lot. So when you talk about spiritual factor, I don't know much about, I don't know what to say, but as far as I'm concerned, people shift blames. Sometimes the devil will even be sleeping. They'll be calling it the devil. Maybe that time he has not woken up.
So you said that confidently as if you knew what the devil is sleeping. But it's fine. You can go ahead, please.
So we need to place a priorities and take the right decision. In this part of the world, that's why you hear this type of thing. If you go to Europe and other parts of the world, they make sure they tackle this headlong. It's not about shifting blame. Maybe the reason the road want to drink blood, the road is dry, all those kind of stuff. We cannot rule it out here because it's part of the belief in Africa. You understand me? You can't completely rule it out. But as far as we are concerned, we have a lot of roles to play. As you make your best, so you rely on it. Talking about infrastructural factors, which is one of the issue. The government has a lot of, roles to play by making sure that the roads are in order. The roads are in order. The traffic situation is being controlled. The route for the tankers is well designated. They should not be moving into towns and cities. There should be a normal route for them. You get it
with
now?
Adequate securities.
With adequate securities, fully monitored. Fully monitored. We take a lot of things for granted in this country because why? People feel, I've prayed, so let God take control. It's beyond that. You have a lot of roles to play to make sure you stay alive. You can't say you prayed and then you mount the truck and you start sleeping. Another critical factor is drug abuse. Drug abuse. Most of these tanker drivers are always on drug, which lead to fatigue. The young men who drive this, if you stop any truck driver today, if you take a census today and start stopping them on the highway and then start checking them, believe you me, 70% will be on drug in this country. They'll be on hard drug, either Idiahem or any other drug. And this thing make them, it seduces them. And they get weak. Sometimes they slip off. Apart from overworking themselves. And when they come to their destinations, they move into hotels, they start drinking, they start in the name of enjoyment and all that. So there is need for adequate monitoring of these drivers and removing those who normally get themselves involved in drugs and other substances out of the road. Electronic, what do you call it now? Driver licenses, and even taking fingerprint of this is very important. So that if you are taken out and you go back there should be a way of identify these people, because they can equally go back to that truck. And if you don't have a way of identifying them the way it's done over there, the same problem remains. So these are the things we are talking about.
So it's not a spiritual problem?
As far as I'm concerned, it's not a spiritual problem. It's not a spiritual problem. These are issues that we can handle. If you let me use China for example. If you go to China now, they have a lot of technological innovations put in place to prevent, even in Lagos here. I was listening to a news this morning. They have AI police there now. That's a camera that monitors activities of drivers.
Yeah, at Alausa. Yeah,
and if you are caught, you pay like 50,000. Now, there's no way you can go and argue with that technology. Or they take it to mobile or those kind of, because it captures your activities, it records full-time events. You understand? Of your offenses. And then you all into this, go and pay the fine. It's not like a human being that you can manipulate. Or when an accident happened, they say they came from the front, it came from the back, so people quickly put their trafficator. Why it was not on before? Just because to win the case. Talking about so many factors are acceptable, my brother. So many factors. A lot need to be done. And it's not about talking, and when it happens again, everybody will just announce it has happened again in Susu State, it has happened here, the governor will come out and condole and visit those people, everybody will go back to sleep. Until it happens again. So there needs to be a holistic and constant approach, getting stakeholders involved, so that we can reduce this menace.
I'm surprised you didn't make mention of the fact that most tanker drivers we can't distinguish the training modalities for tanker drivers.
It's another side.
Because I'm wondering, most of the people that drive these trucks lately that I've seen are usually young boys that are within the age of 16, 17, 18, 25. And that range.
Thank you.
So I'm worried, like most Nigerians are at this point. Should this conversation be of national debate? If for us to have a different driving school for truck drivers and a different school for private vehicles, shouldn't we be having this conversation, Mr.?
Definitely, it's very, very important. It's very important. The truck drivers need to be assessed, retrained and trained, monitored. That is very, very important. And then they need to be examined. They need to be examined because most of them, as you say, they are young boys and they are always high. That's what gives them the confidence, the mind. That's why I pity for those who drag with trailers on the road. You are carrying a small vehicle, you say, this is my right, this is my lane. A trailer is coming. You don't know whether that guy is seeing you or not. Maybe his steering is even locked. If he is on a straight way, want to relax, you'll be holding the steering and coming like that. Then you will stay there and say, well, or you are overtaking or doing any kind of nonsense. They will just mash you. Because they are higher, it's a very high, profile vehicle. So a lot of things are involved. A lot of factors are involved. And every day, as we are talking, people are dying on the road. About 1.9 million people die, according to the UN.
By road accidents?
By road accidents every year. This is a staggering statistics. Worldwide. Over 50 million injured. With some of them breadwinners. And the most vulnerable are those between the age of 20 to 25 or 35 thereabout. These are young people. You get it? So it's a disturbing scenario that requires a holistic approach. The government need to take the lead because they make the laws.
Mr. Oche, as at February this year. Well, of course, we are still in February, but let's reverse back to January this year.
Yes.
We've had the death rate on tanker explosions, especially using Niger State, has risen to 98 people that are affected.
There's another one in Ogun State.
Let's just go by January record. Let's not include that of February. Let's say because we have already summed up that for January. 98 people. These are 98 lives that have been affected. Mr. Chair, you are in the corridor of road accident prevention. Is it that the government is not serious about its fight on the prevention of road accidents, especially by truck drivers, and general antecedents of accident prevention? Or we are paying lip service to it? Or Nigerians themselves are not just taking the issue of road accident prevention to it, treating it with all the urgency it needs and requires?
Everybody has his own blame.
Okay.
The government has their blame, as far as I'm concerned. Like I told you earlier, if the government moves into full enforcement and begin to assess these vehicles using all the regulatory agencies, it will reduce immediately. If you assess 200 tankers today, don't be surprised. You might not get up to 80 that are fit for the road. Why? Because they don't buy them new. Most of them are Belgium. They've been used over there. They are worn out. And they know why they are selling it from there. They are very much aware. It's a potential risk to the environment. It can collapse at any time. It can get off the road. The fibers, everything there are weak. And you know our place is like a dumping ground for all those things. Even some of the airlines, as we heard, are not too new. So that is where the government gets their own blame. And the masses themselves should learn to obey the rules and regulations that are guiding this, guiding the rules and the traffic sector, or let me say the road safety sector. Somebody will tell you there's no law in Nigeria. It doesn't sound funny. He beats the light, he does what he wants. Now, if these people are apprehended and being used as example, others will be very careful. You see somebody beating light, just careless, he doesn't care. While others are stopping, he will just go and corner and pass. As if his vehicle has no brake. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Now, if that kind of person is apprehended, like in Lagos, there was a time if you go on one way, they seize your vehicle and auction it.
Yeah.
I see them auction vehicles. I see those people crying like babies. Would they ever try it in their life again? Those are hard lines that the government, hard lines and decisions that the government needs to start taking, like in FCT here. You don't joke with people. People enjoy like freedom where there's no enforcement, where there's no law. That's what they like. But the consequences are very severe because the law are meant to guide the people towards a successful journey on the highway. That is just the thing.
Mr. Ache Julius Ogu, before I let you go, let me bring this question back to your constituency. There is this argument that CSOs, that is civil society organizations, are in charge of road transportations, are not even doing enough sensitization to further support the government in this regard. So I'm asking, how correct is this assertion?
It's not correct. Why I say it's not correct is that, for example, we have a league of NGOs. We have the coalition of road safety NGOs in Nigeria, or the road safety NGOs. I am still the chairman. You understand? If the government did not invite you, and you start knocking on their door, you know what is in Nigeria? It's like you are breaking protocol. So by the time we have been trying to have a good conversation, a good relationship with them, we're trying our best. We have a committee now that consists almost 20 years. Minister of the Health is there, NDLA is there, road safety is there, Star Organization is there. This committee is going to look into road accident issues in Nigeria, road safety and drug prevention, substance abuse prevention. Now, we have government agencies there. Why are we doing this? We are trying to bring them to the fold to see how we can interact and address this problem. But the end justifies the means. You need funds to implement some of these programs. If you cannot go to any station and begin to do awareness campaign, you need to pay money. You cannot come to any studio and begin to preach safety on the highway. You need resources, except like what your organization is doing. You understand me? The media has a critical role to play. Not what you are hearing on the radio. Where are you now? They will tell you you are going to Maraba, there's go slow. No. What is this area? Lugbe, what's happening on the highway? Somebody was there's traffic here. That's not what we need. We need innovations that connects the people and build a bridge that will make the government relate with the communities, the CSOs, the NGOs, and others in this field. You understand me? There's supposed to be an interaction, constant interaction. And see, if possible, say, government need to make budgets to see for NGOs and CSOs within the space so that they can operate freely and carry out their activities. Because it's not easy to get grant out there. Although Nigeria is has one of the highest rates when it comes to the issue of road crash. And this tanker explosion is another new dimension that is coming. We know that we have populations, we are big. It's a very big country, as they rarely say, the giant of Africa. Now, that is another factor, because the more vehicles on the road, the more congestion, the more accident you might get.
All right, Mr. Ache, on a final note, as a country, as a people, where do we go from here?
We'll be talking about it now. We need to come together, reason together, and see how we can address this issue.
Is there light at the end of the tunnel?
There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. If the government take the lead and bring the people to the table, and then you start seeing ideas and innovations on how to solve this problem. You get it? You need to get the people involved. Get the people, the community.
Is the problem with ideas or the problem is with implementation?
No. Idea is on idea. One of the problems is with idea. Another one is with implementation. Now, you cannot implement an idea if there's no legislation guiding it. If the government is not involved in that idea, as CSOs, you don't have power to enforce. You don't have power to go to the road and stop any vehicle and say your vehicle is not in order. You can refer or call the agencies involved, call their attention to it. That is the highest you can do.
I thought we've had a lot of that already on the table.
So many of them are on the table.
So many ideas on the plate, but we've not seen implementation. So I'm asking, is the problem with ideas or the problem with implementation?
The two of them. If there's an idea on the table now and it's not, if it's not taken or is not recognized by the government, we have a lot of intellectual, let me use this, criminals who take ideas. As I'm talking now, somebody will be writing somewhere, he will get up tomorrow and say he wants to do this. And it's beyond that. We have been in this business, this project, since 2010. We've been doing research, looking into road accident issues and all that. So it's not a new thing. So you need to get the people involved. Discuss with them. Get them involved in the system. You understand? Some governors are trying their best, like the Enugu State governor. He came to the scene of the last explosion, and he came up with some ideas on how to get this problem solved. But it's beyond that. Since then, have you heard anything? Would they comply? The tanker drivers and the truck drivers themselves, would they comply with that idea without enforcement? It can't work. There must be enforcement. So ideas and implementations are like...
Must marry themselves.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ache Ogu Julius, thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
You're welcome.
What is how far we can run this evening on the desk? I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the show. Even you, my viewers, at home, in your offices, in the car, in whatever place you're watching us online and offline, I want to say thank you so much. Also, we'll come your way again, same time, even on this table for the next edition of The Desk. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. I am Godwin Sunday, and from all of us here in the studio, it's bye for now.